Hello ladies, Sherry here again, and I'm going to try to help you with the third block in our series, which is going to be the 10-inch wheels block. And disclaimer here, I'm no expert, but I'm just trying to help you. So you're going to go to your directions, and we're doing this one. I marked it as number 3 so I can find the blocks I'm working on easily. You can come down and do your cutting, which you already know how to do, and I'm not going to cover that. But I will tell you, on this block it says to use 2 darks, and I didn't do that. I'm using red, white, and black. So what I did was I marked that the light print is my red, and the dark print number 2 is my white, and then the dark print is my black. You may want to do that to help you keep track of what you're doing. So I put it up here, light red, dark print white, dark print 1 black. Okay? And this is what the block is going to look like right here. And for now, I'm going to assume that you've already got your things cut up, and we're going to head over to the sewing machine and look at this, the first step. Okay. So this is going to show you how to assemble it after you've cut it. And we're going for this right here. So if you see, I've already done mine. And a simple way for you to find the way to do it, the long edge is here. The long edge is here, and the point is going in on both of those. And then on the white one, I've got the long edge here. Okay? Okay, as you can see, I've got all 4 of my blocks set out the way they're going to be sewn and ready. So we're fixing to get started, but before we do, I was going to talk about 1/4-inch seams. Here are 2 1/4-inch foots. Here are 2 1/4-inch feet. This one is mine, and you just butt your fabric up against here, and that gives you the 1/4-inch seam. This one is Rick's, and this is the 1/4-inch seam that you line it up to the edge right here. Now if you don't have a 1/4-inch foot, and you may have a different kind, that's fine, but you can line up your fabric right here. Your machine should have a 1/4-inch mark to line up your fabric to, so you'd be sewing here, and that's your 1/4-inch seam line. So you could use a regular foot and do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my 1/4-inch foot. Some of you may have a laser on your machines. Most of you may not. I have one, and I usually use it, but for this I want. So we're going to take the, I have to tell y'all, for some reason when I do videos, I fumble. I can't speak. We're going to take these, and I'm going to lay this one on top of this one and match those seams really nice. And then we're going to sew that 1/4-inch, making sure you're sewing the right edge. I've already got my machine on and ready to go. And if you'll see right there, I'm lining up with the 1/4-inch. But my foot has run away. So let me see. Sorry, but I want to make sure it's right. So I'm lining up everything correctly. Okay. And I've got it right there on my 1/4-inch mark. And we're going to take it to the ironing board and press it. I'm going to set that seam. And then I'm going to open it and press it. And I'm going to check the back and make sure that it's laying down my seam nice and pretty. And if it's not, I'm going to fix it.
And all those, you probably, I'm sure you want to iron them or press them to the same side.
Okay, so now you see I've got that done. So we're going to lay this on top of here, and we're going to sew that long seam there. I'm not pinning right now because we really don't have any seams to match. Getting this fabric to move is a challenge because it wants to stick together. But you just work with it and you'll get it. Possibly. Here we go. All right, we're going to do that 1/4 inch seam again. There's my 1/4 inch mark. I'm going to line my fabric up with that. Make sure my ends are meeting. And this little, what is this called?
All.
This awl is really nice because it helps you to keep that down and not get your finger under the needle. We're going to take it to the machine, to the iron, and press it. I'm going to set that seam. Then I'm going to open it up and press it. And if you look at the back, my seams look nice. Okay? So you see, right now, I've got 3 more I need to do. So let me do those and then I'll be back. Okay, we're back. You should have your 4 units made. Okay? I've got my 4 done and yours will be done now. Now we've got our small blocks and we're going to take them and we're going to set it on top of the, in my case, the white one. Just like that. We'll do another one and mark it. And if you see and follow the directions, we're doing step 2 right now. And that looks like that. We're putting the C piece on there and you see where you sew it from corner to corner, from this corner to this corner. Okay? Now, I'm going to want to change my foot because you do not want to use a 1/4 inch foot to do that. You just want to use your regular foot. And you might also want to, which make it easier, and we're going to go ahead and do that for you, is we're going to take it to the table so you can see this. You can take your small square and put your ruler on it and go from corner to corner. This is a friction pen. I love it. It comes out real easy. Doesn't stain your fabric. Doesn't really matter a whole lot because you're doing it on the back. Oops. It might be time for me to get a new friction pen. But anyhow, for yours, you might want to take all 4 of these and mark it on the back for your seam so you'll have a line to follow. Back to the sewing machine. I have a laser guide, so normally I don't do that, but for you, that's going to be the thing to do. If you have a laser guide, you can use it. And you're going to line it up, and if I was using my laser, I would have my laser lined up right here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down and put my needle where my needle's going to come down right on that line. And my foot has slid away. Let's get it. I need one of those little rug things. My fabric's not matched up that great. Let's move it just a tiny. Right, line it up on that line. Very important, your needle lined up on that line. And we're going to go from that end to this end. Staying on that line. Here we go. And then we'll go back over to the table and you can look at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it up. We're going to check it, make sure everything's right, and it is. So we're going to open that back up. You can take your ruler and cut a 1/4 inch seam with your cutter. Me, for these type, I just eyeball that 1/4 inch seam and I cut it. If it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, it doesn't matter. Then we're going to go to the ironing board and we're going to press it. So let's set that seam. Open it up. And then that's what it's going to look like. really changes the look of that block, doesn't it? That's interesting. Okay, we're going to go back over here, and what you're going to do now is look for the fabric you dropped on the floor, mark every one of them, and then put them on here and sew all the other 3 of them. And we'll be back. I'm going to give you some time to do that, and I'm going to do it as well. Okay, I did want to show you, in case some of you do have the laser, and Lori, I bet you do, but I don't know who all does. I'm going to just come over here and turn my laser on, and you see it puts a line there. Normally, when I'm sewing, I have it over here for my 1/4 inch seam, but since we're doing this, I've got it set right where that needle comes down. So for me, on this one, I don't have to draw a line. I just put the needle right there in that one corner, and I know I'm going to the other corner, and I follow the laser, which would also be the line you drew. And it comes out really nice. And you do the same technique. Check it, make sure your block looks good. Cut off the excess, and then press it. So we're good. Get yours done, and we'll be back. Okay, we've got our 4 blocks sewn, and we want to look at the back and make sure that you're doing your seams correctly, and if you look, it's no doubles up or anything. It looks really nice. So we've got all 4 blocks done. And so we've done 2, and we also did 3, which was make 4 blocks units. Now we're going to do number 4 and lay out the block units as shown for the diagram. Join into rows and complete block. So here's the diagram you're looking at, and this can be made real easy for you because this right here, this green one they're showing on here, is my white one. So I can look down here, and on the bottom row, my white one goes like that, right? No. Like that. No. All right, give me just a minute, and I'll get it figured out. Okay, the top one's going to be like that. The second one, and we'll see once we get it right, because we're making the pinwheel as well in the middle. Come on, oh, there it is right there. No, that isn't correct. Okay, that is correct, because you see you've got your this running this way, and you've got this in the center. Looking at that, and so you're just going to have to work with it till you get it set up right, but make sure you do that, okay? And then what we're going to do next is we're going to flip this one over this one and sew it together, and this one over this one and sew it together. And I am going to switch back to my 1/4 inch foot. Don't forget about changing the feet because you need it. And I'm going to move my laser over on my machine. It's a 9.5. So I'm going to open it back up and make sure I had it right, because I've already forgotten. There you go. So we're going to take this one and line it up. And there is one seam to match up. Now you just want to match up that seam on the end. So you might want to start there for matching it up. And I'm going to just pin that one just to make it stay. And I'm ready to sew. Back to the 1/4 inch seam, back to the 1/4 inch foot. Okay, it flipped up a little right there. I'm going to lift my foot and get it under there. There we go. remove your pins. You don't want to injure your machine, damage it, or break a needle and have something pop in your eye.
It's a dangerous hobby.
Yeah, be careful with them scissors. I cut myself with scissors. I scissored myself. And we're going to go ahead and do the other ones so we can take them both over there and press them. Remembering, you do want to match up those seams because you want it to look good. So, I like to pin it where it matches. You don't have to. If you don't want to, it's just the way I do it. This one I'm pinning a little more because I'm going to make sure that seam's down. Okay? Got my 1/4 inch seam going. Yeah, we'll fix that. Here we go. Oh, no, it's not far enough under there. That would never do. Take my pin out. We don't want to run over it. There we go. Alright, we're going to take it over to the iron and press it. Look at the wind blowing in the tree outside. It's been raining today. But that's okay. As much rain as we've had, we still need rain right now. I'm going to set that seam. I'll look and see which way I want that to go. Don't know that it matters, does it? And I'm going to press it open. But what does matter, and I'm going to make sure that seam is laying down. What does matter is I want this seam to face a different direction, so when I match the seams, it's not too bulky. So we're going to do this one in that direction. Okay, let's go back to the machine. Lay it out. Do this every time, because if you don't, you'll do silly things like I do. And you'll sew it together backwards. See how pretty that looks? And then you'll have to rip out, and nobody likes that. So now we're going to bring it over, right sides together. We're going to nest this seam. And I'm also going to be conscious of these points right here at the same time, because I also want those to match up. And it'll give you such a pretty block if you take that little extra time to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and do it right here on the end, because you see I had a little bit of a gap, and I want to make sure I get that out of there. I made this for my sewing machine to keep stuff in, and I found it makes a very handy pin cushion while I'm sewing. I'll just keep 6 or 8 pins there, and I'm good to go. Otherwise, I'm constantly looking for my pin cushion. What did I do with it? Where did I put it? This way, my pins are just with me. And I got all the things in my pocket I need. A pointer, some thread, scissors, a pin, whatever you need. You probably don't need this many pins. I'm just trying to get it where it turn out right. Now we're going to sew it together. And of course we don't want to run over a pin, so I'll remove that one. Line it up on my 1/4 inch, and here we go. See how that rumpled up? I don't want that. So I'm going to lift that. I'm going to take out my neat pin. And here we go. Back here again, I want to make sure that my seams are laying down. Get the pin out. And because you are running over a few seams, just go slow, so it'll just go straight over there. There you go. Okay, you gotta lift the foot to get that pin out. That's okay, that happens. Moving that one. So I can just line it back up again. Up. Won't sew if you don't put that foot down. Look how quickly that block is done. It's actually a pretty easy block, in my opinion, but the directions can be a little complicated. All right, we're going to set that seam.
Check your points.
And then we're going to open it up. Check out the points. If you take the time to make sure you're matching up, nesting seams, but at the same time getting these together, then you're going to come out with really pretty points. And I can't stress this enough. Make sure that your seams are 1/4 inch. And if you think they're not, a good rule of thumb for that is that right there is 1/4 inch. The good thing to do as you're going is just check it. And because if you're doing it a little, I'm going to have to fix that. If you're doing it a little over or under, it will change the size of your block. And you don't want that. Okay, ladies, we want to remember this says 10-inch Wills block. It is a 10-inch block, but remember, it's going to be a 10.5 inch when you finish it. It doesn't become the 10-inch until you sew it into the quilt that you're making. So when you're sending to your partner, you should be sending a 10.5 inch block. And you can measure that. You could use a regular ruler and measure it, or you could use mine. I have a 10.5 inch ruler and put it down and measure it. Okay, happy sewing. Beautiful block. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.